All right, next let's get into the sprint review. In this session, we want to understand the key behaviors that make this ceremony most effective by working through the typical challenges the team may encounter and develop an effective sprint review, then common practices and key behaviors that help overall throughput and the demoing of this. This is commonly referred to as a demo. So let's get into what key recommendations are and best practices. This session shows stakeholders progress based on work completed within the sprint. A sprint review, also called a sprint demo. This is to get feedback and possibly create news stories. This is a demonstration. It is always best practice to make this a live demonstration. Best practice is about 1 hour of this per week of sprint. Sometimes I've seen it done less, it just depends on the product you're working with. You want the product owner to own this because they're the ones that have communicated the vision of what's going to be done. We need the Scrum Master to facilitate it and the team to attend, and the stakeholder must be there. This is very much where they get to say, this is exactly what I wanted, or this is not what I wanted at all. So we really want to make sure the product owner should open the session by saying what is done and what's not done. Did we meet the definition of done for the activities that we said we're going to done? So this is the verbal part. Then we move into the visual part of actually demoing and showing things. Team presents an integrated product increment, something that can be used in the marketplace. Again, live, something shows, something actually works. Demos are included and target appropriate customer segment for feedback. So after each thing that's demoed, ask for feedback and be receptive to it. Investment questions discussed. What is the investment breakdown? How does this relate to the overall year versus the sprint? Is this a minor demo, minor release, or is this a big one? Impediments are discussed, and also what issues we had during the sprint. What problems did we face? So the client, customer, stakeholder can actually put themselves in your shoes for seeing what big issues happened. Be transparent during this session. We want to go over if the work was helped by other teams, if there's any combined work with other teams being done. All customer segments interested in sprint outcomes are present. Can't stress this enough. They're engaged and present. And this is a great chance to inspect and adapt. After we've demoed, there's going to be follow-up. There's going to be, ooh, this is nice. I'd really like to see it done this way. Or I don't like this at all. Start from the drawing board. There's going to be changes. There's going to be things added to the backlog. This is a good place to have your technology up and running so you can add maybe some more details to it. However, be receptive to feedback. And above all, we want to make sure that the outcomes have been shown to the right people. Did we build this for the person actually viewing the demo? That person needs to be present. So this is a good chance to say we have done our work and let's show you how we've done our work. So with that, there's going to be kind of that completed work goes in versus new stories added to the backlog or the output, right? Did it meet everything that we wanted? If not, that means that there's going to be other things to work on. And here it is, right? So information radiators, these are things like metrics, these are things like velocity reports, technical debt burn downs, things like that. So use data to your advantage. This goes back to the business agility piece of data being your friend. Use that to kind of see where you're standing. Were you over velocity or under velocity? It's a great question to ask. And now the completed work goes into the demo as well. So at the demo, you say this took X number of story points, or this had this amount of technical debt, or it was completed on this day, hard data, combined with the actual demoing and facilitation of what was done. You're going to receive feedback, be receptive to the feedback from your stakeholders, and based on their feedback, you should be creating new stories. It's almost never actually the finish line. They will have follow-on work if it was done right or if it was done wrong. If it was done wrong, they'll definitely have feedback for you. Some common challenges and issues that we see are stakeholders not engaged during the review period. Stakeholders should be giving feedback and also empathizing with the team regularly on what they've done. Sprint outcomes are only shown in a presentation, like a PowerPoint. Again, this is the bringing to life aspect of the work. So demos, I've seen teams do demos that are really fun, where it's very much a live session. They have a pizza party with it. So try to bring it to life. Product owner does not discuss impact on delivery. So where does this fit in the larger scheme of our overall delivery? Should be discussed. Product owner accepts the sprint product increment at the beginning of the review. So this is not correct. It should be kind of the reverse, is they should accept it at the end of the review. So don't accept something that hasn't already been reviewed, that has not been reviewed yet. The leader or product owner should understand what puzzle piece is current sprints fit into, what current sprints fit into, and if it actually accomplishes the goal. So is this meeting our larger goals that we mentioned that we're going to accomplish? Team does not accept feedback from their customers. So again, be receptive to feedback. There's an art form to it. Say thank you. Ask knowing questions. Ask follow-up questions. And don't be defensive. Functionality being demoed does not work. This should never happen. You would hope that individuals that are producing the work also look at the work before pressing send on an email or demoing it. The team demos functionality outside the sprint goals. So when I say teams demoing on their own, it's not very difficult to do some simple testing. That's not necessarily demoing. Now, you definitely don't want to demo with just half the team and none of the stakeholders. That's not the idea. You should be demoing together as a group. And then finally, no problems resolved, encountered, or discussed. Remember, we're talking during the review about what the issues were that we had to deal with to accomplish this demo. So we should also say what it took to resolve them or what we need to do to resolve the next one. So here's a pretty basic script you can run with. This is something to take back to your group. Is try to set a stage for these demos. Maybe it's an email, maybe it's a Teams meeting, where you kind of want to share the rules of the demo. Everyone wants to be respectful of everyone's needs and come prepared. We want teams and individuals to really discuss the accomplishments and impacts that their work has had over the past sprint. Discuss key occurrences, key problems, impediments during the sprint. Discuss it all. This is not a retrospective session though, so this is a good time to discuss direct technical or other issues and the outcome. Live demo is always the best, and the feedback should be professional in nature. This is also where you can begin the conversation of what you're going to do next. Again, we're adding to the backlog here. And finally, communicate back to your group how this fits in the overall plan of work. This is where the leadership, product owner really comes in handy, of them saying this is a key piece because of this. Why is it a key piece? How does it fit into the year end? Is this a minor or major demo? Pieces like that, so the team can understand kind of what puzzle piece this fits into the grander scheme of things.